everybody, it's Mia with TM Behavioral Health Centers, and today is February 21st, and it's Wellness Wednesday. Today what we're talking about is going to have a little bit more to do with kind of just social wellness, wellness in your relationships with others, particularly in this case, your family. So we've said before that addiction is a family disease, basically meaning that like addiction will not at all benefit. Addiction will be a problem for really everybody in your family or multiple people in your family if your family are people that you're interacting with, if you're actively interacting with your family. In some cases you might specifically actually not be interacting with your family because of your addiction problem, and in that case that would be related to the addiction. So addiction impacts family members in different ways. You have, in certain cases, you're maybe more financially impacting your family. So you might have family that's giving you money because you're going through withdrawal, and they want to help you get another fix so that you don't have to suffer in withdrawal. You have family that might be throwing money to put you in rehab constantly, even though you kind of don't want to go. So, it can be a financial thing. And then it's also a physical thing for certain people, because depending on how your addiction works out, you can have cases where they become you may be physically ill, and that member has to take care of you, and so it's putting wear and tear on their body, having to constantly take care of you. It can be mentally exhausting and emotionally exhausting. So mentally, in the sense that if somebody in your family is dealing with, say, their own depression or something like bipolar disorder, for example, your fluctuating mood and irritability and you're just the overall stress and problems that come along with being in a family where addiction is present, that can sometimes increase your stress and then put you in a position where your own mental health is at risk. And then emotionally speaking, just because, if you care about somebody and you watch them suffer, it's not an emotionally pleasing thing to go through. So the other thing that it can do is disrupt your family dynamics, for example. So like you, with your addiction, you might have a family member that's enabling you, right? And then the rest of your family doesn't agree with this family enabling you. So now you haven't just caused problems because of, your own personal addiction, and not receiving help. It's now the family members who are enabling you, they're now having issues with other family members, and it all kind of stems from that one person's addiction. So that's kind of how addiction can kind of spread throughout the family and affect everybody. You might have a family member, for example, like your whole family is really supportive of this whole thing and then like helping you out and making sure you're good, and then you have like a family member who's more like, you know what, I don't want to deal with this person. Again, that's another situation where you now have a secondary family conflict because of the primary issue being addiction. So there are kind of different ways also too that like addiction can like start with a family member, right? So you can be a family member who you came down from generations of addiction. So like your dad was an alcoholic, and then his dad was an alcoholic, and all of your aunts and uncles are alcoholics. Like, so you can come down from a line of addiction, or you can be, in certain cases, like we've dealt with clients who are kind of maybe like that first seed who's had addiction, and then that their influence grew on somebody else. So for example, you might have a father who starts using with their teenage son, or having a mother who's using, or a woman who's using, and she ends up using with her sister and introducing her sister into addiction as well. So there are just like a lot of different ways that addiction ends up impacting like your family relationship. There's a lot of different ways that it comes into play, and we'll discuss that in a later video, just kind of like the different roles in a family, like how you have enablers, and it's not just enablers, there's like other different types of people in the family, like your mascot and just all that other good stuff, but that will be another video. Anyway, that was just kind of our topic for today, family relationships, and just talking about how they can be impacted by somebody's addiction. Don't forget that we have a daily morning video that we post, and we link you guys to it, so please watch that as well. And I will see you guys here tomorrow for Getting Through It Thursday.